Hello, and welcome to Yardline Yammer. My name is TT. This is our very first episode related to football, and I hope you find it both fun and informative. Please hit the like and subscribe on your way in. Today, I will be discussing college football, as this past weekend, April 6th, was the spring game kickoff for many of the top schools. Way too many for me to call out individually, so I will discuss just a few in the major conferences, notably Clemson, Auburn, North Carolina State, and UNLV. Clemson. The 2023 Clemson record was 9 wins and 4 losses. According to Spokita.com, Clemson has players that have entered the transfer portal to head off to another program, including quarterback Hunter Helms, who committed to Rhode Island, running back Dominique Thompson, who committed to Georgia State, wide receiver Bo Collins, who committed to Notre Dame, tight end Sage Enos, who committed to Virginia, and wide receiver Brandon Spector, who's showing as undecided at the moment. According to 24/7 Sports, Clemson will be adding new recruits: 14th ranked Sammy Brown at the position of linebacker, 21st ranked TJ Moore at the position of wide receiver, 57th ranked Bryant Westco also at the position of wide receiver, and 90th ranked Christian Bentacore at the position of tight end. A few of the returning players are wide receiver Tyler Brown, tight end TJ Parker, tight end Jake Benningstool, quarterback Cade Klubnik, which I am not sure that Clemson fans want back, but we'll see. Running back Phil Maffa, defensive tackle Peter Woods, and linebacker Barrett Carter, just to name a few. And now moving on to Auburn. The 2023 Auburn record was 6 wins, 7 losses. That was not a good year for Auburn. There are a lot of moving parts happening this year for Auburn. We won't cover them all, but I will start with who has entered the portal. First off is quarterback Roddy Ashford heading to South Carolina. Next is safety Donovan Kaufman, who has committed to North Carolina State. Joining him is linebacker Cam Riley, who also committed to North Carolina State, and wide receiver Malcolm Johnson Jr., who is committed to Bowling Green, just to name a few. They are gaining some great players from the portal, notably tight end Rico Walker from Maryland, wide receiver Robert Lewis from Georgia State, and cornerback Antonio Kite from Alabama. Auburn also secured new recruits, including 5th-ranked Cam Coleman, 30th-ranked Amaris Williams, 38th-ranked Perry Thompson, 41st-ranked Walker White, and 69th-ranked DeMarcus Riddick. These rankings are according to 24/7 Sports. According to Auburn Daily, some of the players returning to Auburn are quarterback Peyton Thorne, defensive line Darren Reed Jr., defensive end Jalen McLeod, and cornerback Kayan Lee. I'm not sure why the pieces didn't fall into place for Auburn last year, but maybe this year will be better for the War Eagles. Now to North Carolina State. The 2023 North Carolina State record was 9 wins, 4 losses. Not too bad. Like Auburn, North Carolina State has a ton of movement happening. Leaving via portal are running back Michael Allen, who is committed to UNLV, wide receiver Terrell Timmons, who's heading to Colorado, linebacker DeJuan Thompson, who's currently uncommitted, and several more. On the gaining side, we already mentioned Donovan Kaufman and Cam Riley that are coming over from Auburn. North Carolina State is also gaining running back Jordan Waters from Duke, tight end Justin Jolie from UConn, quarterback Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina, wide receiver Noah Rogers from Ohio State, and cornerback Devin Marshall coming in from Villanova. North Carolina State really scored big in the portal. Now, coming in for new recruits is the 92nd ranked wide receiver Terrell Anderson and 93rd ranked linebacker Elijah Groves, according to 24/7 Sports. Returning to North Carolina State are running back Demi Sumo Cargabay. I know I butchered that. My apologies. wide receiver Keon Leeson, and Davin Van. Moving on to UNLV. The 2023 University of Nevada, Las Vegas record was 9 wins and 5 losses. This is another team with lots of moving parts. Again, we start with those that are leaving. The big move is quarterback Jaden Maeva. He will be heading to USC. Also, linebacker Xavier Carter is heading to University of Central Florida. All in all, there wasn't a mass exit from UNLV. Joining the Rebels will be, as mentioned above, running back Michael Allen coming from North Carolina State, safety Jalen Catalon coming from Texas, linebacker Manny Powell coming from Arkansas, and quarterback Matthew Sluka coming from Holy Cross. There are more, but for interest of time, I won't list them all. UNLV did not have any of the top 100 recruits, according to 247sports.com. Returning to UNLV will be wide receiver Ricky White, offensive line Tiger Shanks, cornerback Cameron Oliver, and wide receiver Jacob DeJesus. And that's just to name a few. And best of luck to the Rebels. Next up, we will discuss the top 10 2024 recruits according to 247 Sports. First is Jeremiah Smith. He's a wide receiver coming from Opelika, Florida, and is heading to Ohio State. Second is Ellis Robinson IV. He is a cornerback coming from IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, and he is heading to University of Georgia. Third is DJ Lagway. He's a quarterback coming from Willis, Texas, and he is heading to University of Florida. Go Gators. Number 4 is LJ McCray. He's a defensive line coming from Daytona Beach, Florida, also heading to University of Florida. Number 5 is Cam Coleman. He's a wide receiver from Phoenix City, Alabama, and he is heading to Auburn. Number 6 is William Warneri. He is a defensive line. He's coming from Lee's Summit, Missouri, and he is heading to Missouri. Number 7 is Dylan Raioli. He's a quarterback coming from Beaufort, Georgia, and he's heading over to Nebraska. Number 8 is Brian Williams. He's a wide receiver coming from Saraland, Alabama, and he's heading to Alabama. Roll Tide. Number 9 is Jordan Ross. He's an edge. He's coming from Birmingham, Alabama, and he's heading out to Tennessee. And number 10 is Justin Williams. He is a linebacker from Conroe, Texas, and he is heading to University of Georgia. Way to go, Dogs. 247 Sports also ranked the following as the top recruiting classes. Coming in at number 1 is University of Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3 is going to be University of Florida. Hey, we needed it. Number 4 is going to be Alabama. That's kind of a surprise to me considering that Saban left. So good for Alabama. And lastly is going to be Texas A&M holding down the number 5 spot, meaning 4 of the 5 top recruiting classes are SEC teams. That's pretty good. Now we will discuss the new coach for Alabama. In case you didn't know, the great Nick Saban retired after losing in last year's playoffs games. Some wonder why now for Saban. Was it that his reign is possibly over, his age, or the change with NIL and transfer portal, which is evening out the playing field somewhat for other schools that don't have the same type of booster money as the big powerhouse schools? Last year, the top NIL earners were Shadur Sanders from Colorado, Arch Manning from Texas, and Caleb Williams of USC. We aren't really sure why Saban decided to leave. Let us know what you think in the comment section. The new coach for Alabama is Kalen DeBoer. DeBoer is significantly younger than Saban. He will be 49 years old when the Roll Tide kick off their season August 31st. His head coaching career consists of Sioux Falls, Fresno State, and Washington. We will cover on another episode how Alabama stands in returning players and new additions. Best of luck to DeBoer and the Alabama Roll Tide. Nick Saban's shoes are hard to fill. And we can't get out of here without saying something about prime time, right? First off, the Buffaloes fared pretty well in the recruiting class, pulling in 13th ranked Jordan Seaton and 87th ranked Cameron McKell. The big news is the loss of quarterback JT Shrout that's heading to Arkansas State, and wide receiver Jordan Tyson and Montana Lemonos Craig, who have committed to Arizona State and Arizona respectively. And Montana, please forgive me if I butchered your name. Also joining the team is Warren Sapp as a graduate assistant to help out on the sidelines. It's being reported by MSN.com that the Hall of Fame linebacker will be heading back to the classroom in order to afford him the opportunity to assist on the sidelines, and that he will be the highest paid graduate assistant, making a salary of $150,000. It's also stated that Sapp got his bachelor's degree from Texas Seminary Christian University with a degree in Christian sports management. Not really sure what that is, but hey, it's a degree, right? And that's all I have today. Let us know your thoughts about what teams you think will be on top this year. Will the Georgia Bulldogs and Kirby Smart be back on top, or has the transfer portal knocked the SEC off the throne for good? What do you think about the new Alabama hire? Will he be able to fill Saban's shoes, or will it take him a few years to get there? Although it's not officially football season, there will be a lot happening between now and game one kickoff. So we will be coming to you on a weekly basis to keep you up to date on all things on and off the field right here at Yardline Yammer. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss when we drop new videos or go live. Thank you and have an awesome day. Goodbye.